Beneath the restless streets of a city that never sleeps, hidden in the quiet depths of a laboratory sealed from noise and distraction, there exists a phenomenon that challenges everything we think we know about reality. Scientists call it chronoluminescence, but the term barely captures its strange beauty. It is not simply light, nor a reflection of the present moment. It is light that remembers. It does not just illuminate what is, it preserves what was. Within its soft golden glow, the past is not gone. It lingers, suspended in photons waiting to be seen. Imagine standing in a dim chamber bathed in warm radiance. Instead of your own reflection, you see a marketplace from 2 centuries ago unfolding before your eyes. Vendors call out to passing strangers. Fabric ripples in the breeze. Footsteps scatter across worn stone. Every movement is precise, alive, impossibly detailed. It feels less like watching history and more like standing inside it. Time itself seems folded into the light. The discovery began with a young physicist named Eleanor Graves. She was methodical and disciplined, a scientist devoted to equations and repeatable results. Yet beneath her measured exterior lived a restless question. Could time be observed without traveling through it? While others searched the cosmos with powerful telescopes or built machines to simulate the future, Eleanor looked at something far more subtle. She wondered whether light, the silent traveler that touches everything, might carry within it the imprint of what it has seen. Her early experiments were modest. She exposed specialized crystals to bursts of light and studied the faint distortions left behind. To her astonishment, certain crystalline lattices retained subtle patterns long after the light source was removed. It was as if the crystals remembered the photons that had passed through them. The patterns were not random. They carried structure, echoes of movement embedded within the material itself. Driven by curiosity, Eleanor expanded her research. She constructed a sealed chamber lined with reflective alloys and cooled it to near absolute zero, eliminating interference from thermal motion. Within this controlled space, a finely tuned beam of light passed through suspended layers of exotic glass engineered to capture and stabilize photonic traces. It was here that the phenomenon revealed its true nature. When Eleanor first looked through the chamber's viewfinder, she expected to see equipment and sterile walls. Instead, she saw the library of her childhood home. Dust floated in warm afternoon sunlight. Pages turned in a familiar book. She smelled old wood and paper, though she knew it was impossible. The image shifted seamlessly into her grandfather tending a long-vanished garden, his hands brushing soil that no longer existed. These were not dreams or hallucinations. The recordings were precise, consistent, reproducible. The light had preserved fragments of lived reality. News of her work spread cautiously through academic circles. Many dismissed it as an illusion or experimental error, but replication proved undeniable. The chamber consistently revealed detailed echoes of past events, drawn from the very photons that had once bounced off people, places, and objects. Light, it seemed, was not a passive traveler. It was an archivist. As Eleanor refined the technique, the images evolved. What began as static scenes soon became fluid motion. By adjusting frequencies and crystal alignment, she could capture dynamic sequences, a living tableau of history. A street in Paris in 1871 came alive in shimmering detail. Vendors shouting, children weaving between carts, wind tugging at clothing. The air itself seemed to carry memory. Photons preserved not just form, but rhythm. The implications were staggering. Historians could witness civilizations long erased. Families could glimpse ancestors whose faces had never been photographed. Lost languages could be heard again. The boundary between observer and event blurred. Yet the light did not discriminate. It recorded everything, acts of kindness and cruelty alike. Those who spent hours within the chamber often emerged shaken, confronted with the raw totality of human existence. There was no curated narrative, no selective editing. only truth suspended in luminous clarity. Ethical questions soon followed. Could chronoluminescence be used to expose private moments? To reconstruct crimes? To manipulate narratives? Eleanor struggled with these concerns. She developed filters to isolate temporal ranges, attempting to protect recent events from intrusion. Yet the light resisted rigid boundaries. It flowed according to its own logic, revealing patterns that were guided but never fully controlled. History, once illuminated, refused to be contained. Beyond the scientific community, artists and philosophers sought access to the chamber. Some wept at the intimacy of seeing forgotten lives rendered so vividly. Others felt dwarfed by the enormity of it all. In the golden glow, human existence appeared both fragile and immense, a tapestry woven from countless fleeting instants. Memory was no longer personal, it was collective, carried forward by light itself. As years passed, Eleanor aged alongside her discovery. She no longer chased recognition. Instead, she walked the city before dawn, pausing beneath streetlights and imagining each beam as a thread linking present to past. She understood now that chronoluminescence was not merely a technological achievement. It was a philosophical revelation. Time was layered, not linear. Every moment left a trace. In her final years, Eleanor focused not on grand historical events, but on quiet, intimate scenes. A mother rocking a child to sleep, a craftsman shaping wood with steady hands, two strangers sharing a brief glance on a park bench. These subtle gestures, preserved in crystal arrays, revealed the true heartbeat of humanity. The light remembered what people so often forgot, that life is composed not of monuments, but of moments. Before her death, Eleanor left careful instructions for future generations. The chamber was to be approached with humility. To observe was not to possess, to witness was not to interfere. Chronoluminescence was a gift, but also a responsibility. It demanded reverence. The laboratory still exists somewhere beneath the city, its golden glow steady and patient. Some believe that those who stand within it long enough become woven into its record, that their own presence joins the continuum of memory carried by light. Whether myth or truth, the idea feels fitting. After all, if light remembers everything it touches, then every life leaves an imprint. In the quiet hum of that hidden chamber, one truth becomes undeniable. This is more than illumination. It is memory made visible. It is history breathing softly in suspended photons. To look into it is to confront the vast continuity of existence, to understand that nothing is ever entirely lost. Chronoluminescence is not merely a marvel of physics. It is a mirror held up to humanity, an eternal observer and silent storyteller. The light does not judge, it does not choose, it simply remembers. And in that remembrance, it offers us something profound, the chance to see that we are all threads in an unbroken tapestry of time, glowing quietly in the endless flow of existence.